Ladies and gentlemen, welcome back to the finest Dawn of War Unification cast, the side of East Yorkshire. And today we have a 1v1 on Fata Morga Remastered. Over in the Harlequins corner we have got Ree, and over in the Ork corner we have got Clyde. Clyde throwing down double sluggers, generator, boys hut, all that jazz, standard fare. And over in the Harlequin corners we've got a couple of mimes, troop portal, and a chorus as well. So difference between Remastered Fata Morga and the vanilla is that they've got a little cheeky wall here just to give it some parity with this side of the opposite map. But other than that, I think that's generally the major difference between the vanilla and remastered maps. So okay, Orks capturing their nearest and dearest, and we have got the exact same going on the other side. Ooh, also one thing that I want to mention before things really kick off. I mentioned it yesterday, but just in case you don't watch the Ultimate Apocalypse games, I've done a little bit of tinkering around with my recordings. So sometimes in games where lots of things are going on, there's like a little bit of like a frame rate stutter. So I've reduced the maximum capture rate to 30 frames per second. I'm just curious if it increases the overall video quality, avoiding all that, because occasionally in games you get like a little bit of a stuttering image. So if you could let us know if that improves or unimproves the video quality, that would be very much appreciated from my side. Cool, we've got a great Harlequin coming out. That is the leader of the commander unit for the Harlequins in the early game. Big Mech is out. Orcs not pushing out too far. They are just still further consolidating their hold on their points near them. Mimes are going to be pushing out, having a look at this critical location over here. Great Harlequin also going to push out, as well as these chorus boys and girls are going to sing a listening shrine or war flux pylon into existence. If you're not familiar with the Harlequins, they don't really build generators. Their pylons kind of press like a little button and it changes them into like generator mode or something like that. All relevant links to army guides and whatnot in the description as usual from relevant, amazing, fantastic other YouTube channels. Slugger Boys being shot at by the Great Harlequin. They do not want to engage in close combat. If you look, I mean, she's just as deadly. In fact, she's even more deadly close combat at long range, so they do not want to get involved in any of her nonsense. I do quite like the model for her. Just like a... It's like, if any of you have played Persona 5, it makes me think a lot of Joker, the main protagonist in that little game. Very good game, except there's lots of reading in it. Jetbike coming out. Early vehicle for the Harlequins. Quite difficult for the Orcs to deal with at this stage of the game, unless the Big Mech can go in and slap it around. Big Mech not shy of a vehicle. Build them up as easily as breaking them down. Slugger Boy's going to go over here and capture his critical location. These Slugger Boys are going to see what they can do with these mimes. Mimes are the general early game unit for the Harlequins. Don't really specialise in anything in particular, although they are getting some Harlequins kisses and some neuro disruptors which will help them take care of lightly armoured infantry. Big Mech managing to get into close combat with his jetbike. Jetbike, fairly decent close combat. Does not want to get in close combat with this Big Mech. Mimes are not having the best of times. They are being slapped around and will probably want to go home soon. Great Harlequin over here, doing a great job, doing lots of kicks. And we do have a Harlequin troop out at the moment. This is your general punching unit. Very good at close combat, can be upgraded with an ability that helps them jump around. Kind of like the Harlequin in vanilla. At the moment they just fight like normal dudes and dudettes, but once they get the upgrade, in fact are they being researched at the moment. Yes, Dance of the Flying Blade. That will help them do lots of jumpy bits and bobs. I also think as well that one of these upgrades... there we go, I think the Hollow Suits research gives them like a little sparkly aura, which makes them quite hard to see. If any of you have read the Fabius Bile trilogy, some wonderful scenes with Harlequins in there, and you get to know a little bit of their background lore in those books, so I highly recommend reading that. Harlequins are your vibe. War banner, unpainted, but definitely finished, has gone down. Pile of guns going for the Orks. More war banners and generators. 86.32 economy to 98.20. So fairly even Stevens at the moment. Jumpy punching research finally going down for the Harlequins. Jet bike has been repaired by the chorus over yonder. They're going to go in and see what they can shoot up. Realising that there's a upgraded listening post over here, so deciding not to push in too far. Second jet bike out for the Harlequins. Another generator being built by the Orks. Orks going for a bit of a shooter-themed build at the moment. They're also going to get some Storm Boys as well. Do believe, yeah, the Harlequins kisses. Very good at getting rid of lightly armoured infantry. But these Storm Boys are heavy armoured, so they will be able to stand up to a little bit more of the punishment that these boys and girls can provide. Jet bike, not long for this world. It will go down fairly quickly. And there we go. Those are the sparkly, you can't see me glitter bits that we mentioned earlier. They are going to cut through this wall banner very, very quickly. Storm Boys are going to jump in. And that will focus, well, that will force all these boys and girls to retreat. Well, they're very good in close combat. And they are all right at avoiding a little bit of damage. Taking a consistent amount of damage. These boys and girls will go down fairly quickly if they stay around here. Storm Boys slowly but surely pushing it ahead. They push these boys and girls all the way back to base. Critical location now up for the taking from the Orks. We do have some more Harlequins coming out. We have tier 2 as well going for the Harlequins. Storm Boys are going to be cut down very quickly. They have pushed a little bit too far in advance. I do believe that they have a neurodisruptor. I think that kind of... Correct me if I'm wrong, but I think it infects one of the boys, and then once it's dead, it then jumps over to the next boy. Kind of like a mind war, but in gun format. I think that's how it works, although I could be wrong. It's like my 5th Unification game, and there's like a bajillion races, so it will take me a lot longer to learn them. I do believe my vanilla knowledge has gotten up to quite a good standard, but I mean, come on, there's like 14, 15, 16 races in this. Look at that! Wonderful attack animation, just jumping in. These Storm Boys are going to have to get out of dodge. One Storm Boy is blown up in midair. Orks, let's have a look at what tier they're on. They've just gone, they're on tier 2 now. Going for their Blastia research. Great Harlequin being shoved away. Orks playing a very defensive game. They don't want to push out too far. Harlequins are fast, nimble, and anything caught out of position they will be able to tear quite quickly. We do have a stage support portal. I do believe that is the vehicle building for the Harlequins. Big shooters now going down for the shooter boys. And we do have some tank busters getting ready for the vehicles that come out for the Harlequins. No vehicles being researched as of yet. Swift Strike Mastery. What does that do? Increases the damage of Chorus Mimes, Harlequin troops, and jet bikes. All tier 1 bits and bobs. Orks setting up. Do quite like the models for the tank busters. If we can have a quick cheeky look. Their rocket launchers look amazing in Unification. I believe they also have the same rockets as they do in Dawn of War 2. Just look fantastic. Great Harlequin. Quite low on health at the moment. We'll have to be very careful. Very useful unit. You don't want to lose it. And we do have a Wraith Walker on the way out. Not much in the way of research. Oh, we do also have some Death Jesters coming out as well. Although the population is full, they will have to sort that out fairly quick, sharpish and soon. All goes a little bit quiet. Orks don't want to push too far too soon. Any mistake that they make on the battlefield can be quickly capitalised by the fast-moving units of the Harlequins. And they do have a good mix. Lots of close combat. Death Jesters providing that long-range fire that they need. Knob Squad out for the Orks. And Wraith Walker, a very quick walker, will be able to engage in lots of close combat willy-nilly. Tank busters will want to keep their distance away from this boy. Shooter boys out of position just a little bit. Their numbers will be cut down very quickly. Knobs over here. One Harlequin model has fallen. Another Harlequin going to jump in. Shooter boys doing some zappy bits. Big engagement going on here. Harlequins moving in, but due to the excessive fire, they are going to move back a little bit. I do believe that the Harlequins don't favour mass engagements. They like to do a bit of hit and run. This boy has been upgraded with a Bright Lance. We'll be focusing down this big mech. This big mech's health is going down quite rapidly. Wraith Walker going to jump in, get into close combat. Harlequin troop down to 4 models, but still tying up these boys very good. Death Jesters, 2 squads of them now. Although nowhere near as tanky as the shooters, they will be focus fired down. Harlequins will have to do their best. But there's just too much for them to tie up at the moment. Death Jesters have been engaged in close combat and they will fall quite quick sharpish to these knobs. Now they're going to be fired at as they make their retreat back to base. Very unfortunate engagement for the Harlequins. Every unit for them is basically a glass cannon as far as I'm aware. Lots of Death Jesters now coming out. The close combat approach isn't going to work, then they need more in the way of fiery bits. One lone Death Jester holding the fort. And another lone Death Jester. So, very lucky that these Death Jesters were able to get out with just one model. Will help the Harlequins reinforce, but this is a sizable Orc force coming over this way. Shooter bits on this Warp Flux pylon will help defending. The Wraith Walker, primarily good against buildings and vehicles. Lots of health being taken down by, I do believe that's 2 individual squads of tank busters. Death Jesters now out in force. Although, will it be enough to take on these Orks? We do have some mimes over here. I do believe that they've been chilling out for most of the game. Mech shop going down and tier 3 going for the Orks. Fire. Although I do believe all of those missed then actually, which is quite hilarious. Oh no, never mind that they were focusing on the Warp Flux pylon. Fair enough. My mistake. Big push coming, going to try and save their pylon. One volley and they would have died. Mimes going down very quickly. Wraith Walker going to chase these tank busters. Death Jester's not quite getting in range. Chorus falling fast as you like. Great Harlequin. Yeah, they're just not able to get in close combat. There's just too much Dakka for these boys and girls to be able to deal with. They're going to leave this pylon to fall. Give them more of a chance to build up more of a fighting force. Death Jesters getting in position. Gonna fire there. Oh, good lord, that's quite intense. Brilliant, almost white. But that was a full squad wipe there. Not sure what that was, but very impressive ability from the Death Jesters. Harlequin troop gonna chase these boys back. Great Harlequin also doing the same. Yeah, that was an intense ability. It looked like they just threw like a batarang. Although if Batman was to be a member of a Warhammer 40k faction, doubt he'd join the Harlequins. Remind him too much of a friend back at home. Mimes have now finally been caught. They will see these Storm Boys. Storm Boys will probably get them. Although they do have their fusion guns. Wraith Walker being repaired by the Chorus over here. War Truck out on the wings. Storm Boys being reinforced. Mimes being remembered. They will move back. And now getting into position. Right, let's swap over to the 1, 1, 2 and 40 to 1, 3, 3 and 40. So definite blue money advantage to the Orks. War track moving in. We do have some flash gits as well. Further increasing the Dakar output of the Orks. Stormboy's going to be chasing these mimes. War track getting into position. We do have a Venom. That's a beautiful little tank. It's a bit like a moth. Anyway, big engagement going on. War track being shot down by lots of Death Jesters. Almost been taken down, but not quite. These Harlequins are going to jump in, engage these. Well, they flash gits in close combat. Or was it the knobs? They're engaging the knobs. Maybe not the right target to focus on, although they are able to cut through their armour quite quickly. Tank busters melting their way through this Wraith. War track does go down, but the Wraith, or the Wraith Walker, will be taken down in return. Venom is doing their best, taking down a lot of Orks over here. All smorgasbord of dead Orks. War boss coming in, expecting a big war, but realising that he's got no boys left. But the big mech and the war boss is still standing, and the Mad Doc as well. Tank busters holding firm. Managing to take out all of the Harlequins' vehicles. Another Wraith Walker is in transit. And it all goes quiet again. The Orks probably wanted to rebuild some more of their boys. Got more knobs for Knob Leader. So a Knobby Knob. Mimes over here though. Armed with their fusion guns and a Master Mime. Could be a thing that if these Orks engage, they could send the Mimes in. Wraith slapping around the Ork War Boss. Ork War Boss is kind of just chilling there. War Truck has gone down. And more zappy bits. Broken the morale of these tank busters. We'll send all these boys running away. Knob Squad out. Ready to take on this Wraith Walker. Volley from the tank busters. And the War Boss will annihilate the Wraith Walker. He's very low on health. Might want to join Knob Squad just to keep him from being targeted so easily. Another Wraith Walker is coming out. And just flash gits all the way from the Ork player. Mad Doc probably going to join one of these flash gits. Orks gone from shooters to flash. Gone for the elite builds. Death Jesters going to be firing into these knobs. Tank busters trying to focus fire on this Wraith Walker. Warboss just doing what they can. Zappy bits breaking the morale of these tank busters over here, but not taking down the unit. Seem to be quite resistant to it. Death Jesters holding firm. 3 models still left. Not terrible in close combat, but they're much better at long range. Flash gits have gone in. And while all these guys are focusing down on knobs, knobs have gone down. Wraith Walker going to jump from the behind. Going to try and type one of these units. Units have gone infiltrated there. And won't be able to get to these flash gates as they are being blocked by the tank busters. Although the Orks have managed to do a fair bit of damage. Only a couple of Jesters left. But this Harlequin troop down here is going to distract these flash gates just for a little bit. But this big mech is going to push these Death Jesters around. Got another Wraith Walker and some more Death Jesters being built. But it does look like, out of the impressive firepower that the Orks can bring to bear, they might be able to take down this stage support portal before it is able to be built up. They are going to focus down this pylon instead before turning their attention to stage portal. Stage portal going to go down very, very quickly, and the Wraith Walker will not be able to get out in time. This does look like a final push from the Ork player. Doesn't seem to be too much that the Harlequins can do. Jetbike going down, quick as you like. Chorus and more electric bits. Breaking the morale of all the Orks on this side. But even with broken morale, they will be able to chunk through these Death Jesters like no man's business, or no Ork's business in this case. We'll be focusing down this Temple of Laughing God. Players over here seeing what they can do, but not very much. More mimes and choruses going to join the fray. An honourable last stand from the Harlequin player. Does manage to break the morale of this Flashgate squad over here. No fighting juice going down just yet. Well, will they actually need it? Flashgates do very little damage in close combat on account of their backpacks and their general disdain for punching things, much rather firing at things from a distance. Well, it does seem like the Orc advance has been slowed for a bit. Might have to do a second to last push, but I mean realistically, they do have the economy. More war tracks are coming out. Tank busters focusing down this troop portal. They don't have any infiltration vision at the moment, so they are free to shoot as they please, although it is being rebuilt by the mimes. Vision has been gained for reasons beyond my ken. Troop over here has been destroyed. Flashgate's now moving back in. We'll be able to melt their way through these mimes. Death Jesters setting up to fire, but they are not the tankiest boys in the world and will go down. Troop portal. Not long for this world. Going back into the webway. And I will call it there for the Orc player. Valiant defense from the Harlequin player as his HQ goes down. But yeah, very interesting game. I'd love to see new race and new units. I have not casted a Harlequins game before, so very interesting for me. And if you're new to this mod, I hope it was interesting for you too. Anyway, my name's been Mr. Landshark. Pleasure as always, never short, and I will see you in a bit. Peace.